Chris here, Staffordshire against HS2, joint chairman with Trevor Forrester from Industry. Just a quick update really, and a couple of comments on a couple of things you would have received. Firstly, a letter from County Councillor Len Bloomer, which is a very nice thing, and thank you very much to the Conservative Party for paying for this to be sent out, because as you can see it's not come out on County Council headed paper, so this is really Len's first shot across the bows for the election campaign, because it is in May, local election time, and of course Trent Valley is up and Len is standing, so he was very, very keen to get everybody to know that he is actually against HS2. Well, good. I'm really pleased about that, and I know that Len is doing what he can. However, having said that, Len, and I've sent this to you in an email, so I'm not saying anything online that I've not informed you of, this is a bit of a missed opportunity, isn't it? You know as well as I know, because we've discussed this on a number of occasions, that there are many people, too many people in Staffordshire who haven't got access to the internet. This, because you've paid for it to be delivered, and that's money that we at the action groups can't afford yet because we don't have enough money, but this could have said where to get the information pack for the exceptional hardship scheme so that people not on the internet could have engaged with it. You missed that opportunity. You missed the opportunity to put on other links as well to the to the internet with regard to HS2 and what they're doing. You could have done that. Okay, and again you didn't, because there's nothing on the back of that. It wouldn't have taken much to re-photocopy it on the back. There's a lot you could have done with this, Len, but you chose to send a political letter out saying, please vote for me, I'm against HS2. Well, great, there's going to be other people. I know that Malcolm Millichamp is going to be against you in the Labour Party, and there will be others. But at the end of the day, they're all going to say this, Len. So the question is, Len, what are you going to do that's different? What are you going to do that's different then? Bear in mind that you and your colleagues have already had 2 years experience of working with HS2. So what are you going to do that's different? Because my understanding is that nothing really much has changed in Staffordshire in the last 2 years with regard to HS2, unless you can tell me different. Okay, let's move on, because you'll start to get a lot of different things like this. Now, Colwich Parish Council, they were a bit late out of the blocks, I accept, but at least they've done something, and this is a really nice document, well presented and sent out by the parish council as a whole. A couple of things, you know, that you could niggle at it. Well, again, it's not actually saying whether you're therefore or against it. They are saying, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing? These are the arguments for, these are the arguments against, and yet just about all the other parish councils have come very clearly out against it. So I'm not sure what it's actually saying, because it's calling everybody who's anti-HS2 and wants to stop it NIMBYs, which is a bit bizarre, because I was thinking to myself, well, the other day, you know, well, it goes through the different options. Option 1's preferred route, option 2 preferred route, option 3 preferred route, option 4 preferred route, and they're going to be looking at those and looking how, rather than trying to stop it, they just want to push it onto another community. Now, that, to me, is being a NIMBY. Now, you can call me what you like. I'm not a NIMBY. I want to stop it for everybody. I don't want it to go through Colton. I don't want it to go through Stockwell Heath. I don't want it to go through Ridware. I don't want it to go through Great Haywood. I don't want it to go through Little Haywood. I don't want it to go through Industry or Hopton or Marston or Swinnerton or Yartlet or any of the other places. I don't want it to any of those communities to have to deal with it. This document says that they're going to try and do that. And I will absolutely guarantee you here and now that they will fail. Which is a shame, because again it seems a waste of effort. So it's really important to, when you start seeing the glossy brochures and the letters, and there'll be more, oh there'll be more, lots more, all put through, and everybody sitting there and saying, oh, we're against it. But just remember, ask them all this. If you're against it, what have you actually done? Now, we can sit there and say very clearly what we have done. We've set all the action groups, we've brought all the action groups together, we've liaised with the all the national groups to make sure that we're getting the best possible information straight from all the action groups from phase 1, so that we're implementing all that now. We've set up an environmental review of the local area to find out if there's any environmental problems with the way that HS2 are going forward now, in readiness for the consultation further down the line. We've set up a media group to make sure that we're getting our message across. There are literally thousands of people in Staffordshire at the moment who've been affected by HS2. They've had the house blighted, businesses blighted, charities blighted, land blighted by massive devaluation. Even though the project isn't going to go ahead for another 10 years, the spade isn't even in the ground, but all of a sudden people have been told that if they're in proximity to the proposed route and they receive an offer 15% less than the current valuation, they have to accept that loss. Now let me just work out what that means. So I've saved all my life, I've put into a mortgage, I've been a worker, I've been a striver, I've done all the things that I should have done, I've not been unemployed, I'm doing the right thing, I'm a foster carer as well, so I help look after the kids that nobody else wants to look after. Yeah, I do all of that. And because of proximity to HS2, if somebody offers me 15% lower the valuation, and that means that I personally may lose £27,500, and I'm just living a 2 up, 2 down. But when you then look back from that £27,500, and then you say, well, how many mortgage payments was that? It's a good few years worth, isn't it? And I'm being told I've got to accept that. Yet, fly over to Cyprus with a plane load of money because the Cypriots are being told that the government is going to put their hand in their back pocket and take it on. All of a sudden everybody's up in arms. But I've got to accept a £27,000 loss as a minimum to my property. That's just wrong. It's my life savings. It's my investments. It's wrong. We had the budget yesterday. The budget has underpinned people to get loans on buying houses across the UK, all sorts of wealthy people and not so wealthy people, and they're underpinning it to a value, the estimate is of £130 billion. And yet they will not put together a property bond to support those who are being affected by HS2, to allow them to sell their properties at the right value, at the value that they've invested in, that they've put their life savings into. And it's wrong. It's wrong. But again, the action groups have done something about that. They may not have won all the reviews that they wanted from the judge, but the one key one, the one that the government were frightened of most of all, was the compensation. And the judge said clearly that the compensation process was so poor that it was deemed illegal. Okay? Now we want, and we've won, the property bond to come back into the fray again. And when they review it, they're going to have to review the property bond. Now the property bond basically says to all the estate agents, all the banks and everybody else, right, that there is a property bond on this property. And it's saying quite fairly that if ahead of current values, the property is still, by the time that the railway is built, if it is built, and we hope to stop it, but if it is built, that there is that guarantee that the government will pay the difference to whoever owns the property at that particular point, allowing us all to get on with our lives. And there are literally hundreds, we are hearing hundreds of cases where people are trapped in their houses, can't sell them, can't get a mortgage on it, yeah, can't get away from their business because their business has been blighted, and nobody will allow them to raise money to buy their property or their business. It's really wrong. It's really, really wrong. And my granny used to say to me, you know, if it sounds wrong, then it is. Okay? So we're doing a lot. The action groups need your support. We're going to be doing some more public meetings in the area soon, just to keep you updated on what we're doing, what we're achieving and how we are. We've got a lot of things going on and we are actually making a difference. MPs are starting to change their mind and starting to support us. The county council were putting pressure on to support the 51M group of county councils. There's a lot going on, and I know that you will be happy when you hear the long list of the activities that we're undertaking at the moment. But we're doing it on your behalf, and we do need your support, and that will mean, unfortunately, that you will need to support us financially, because at the moment everything that we're doing, everything I'm doing, whatever, is coming out of my wallet. You know, and that's all well and good, and I don't mind doing it, but there's only so much I can do with the meagre resources that I have, and other people are already paying for their own stuff, banners and leaflets and that sort of thing, and we're trying our best, but we do need support, and we're doing it for you, we're doing it for the community, and we're putting lots, and believe you me, lots and lots of hours in. So please, when you see us out, we're going to be having table days. When you see different events going on, please support us, please come along, or just donate. I'll get the bank account details on the website, Staffs Against HS2.blogspot.com, as soon as I can. We're now fully constituted. We have a fully constituted committee, and we are doing really, really well and doing some sterling work. So keep an eye on this spot, keep an eye on this blog, and share it with your mates, tell everybody what's going on. You're not on your own out there. If you've got problems, contact us. We've had complaints into the Chief Executive of HS2 recently. We're dealing with senior MPs, the Secretary of State ourselves. We're not waiting for MPs to get hold of them, and we're waiting for replies from them too, for various different things that we are doing. So, we are working at the highest levels of government, we're working at the highest levels of HS2. And that's because we've all joined together. So our voice is much louder, but it does need funding. So help us out when you can. Again, Rolf Pearce, Haywood's Local Voice, thanking you all for your patience so far and for getting involved and being on this video. But remember, keep the politicians accountable. Keep asking them, it's all right, nice words, what have you actually done? All right? Thank you for watching.